You're listening to Tales from the Flipside. Tales from the Flipside. Tales from the Flipside.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another Monday night Tales from the Flipside. CBSI presents Tales from the Flipside, episode 134. It's been a long week. Got a lot of things to talk about that's going on in the comic book community. It's a lot of interesting stuff. But over here on the home front, over in AZ, I finally got some rain last night. I am very relieved. It was a very glorious night. And I spent the whole day sleeping up until about 2 hours ago. So, boys, introduce yourselves.
Deno, after a long hiatus, I am back for a short stint, and then I'll be gone for another long hiatus. I've been watching Cobra Kai, so I'm all about that the sensei life now. So that's about it.
Hey, what's up? It's Ben S, and I got nothing. I blanked out completely.
Well,
I got nothing.
We should talk about, remind everybody in the chat tonight that Ben S has got a nice little place from behind him. Try and figure it out in the chat. Let us know what you think it is. And if you're right, probably move on to the next one. So a little game we play. Try to do it without cheating, though, you cheaters. All right. What's up, Nico? How you doing, brother?
I'm Nico, your weekend update correspondent with comicbookinvest.com, host of the Saturday night interview show, Comic Book Strategic Investment. I hope you guys got a chance to watch this past Saturday's episode. We tried to raise a little bit of money for colorectal cancer research by the American Cancer Institute. Melissa Flanagan's a physician in Florida, and she was kind enough to set up a GoFundMe. There is a direct link on comicbookinvest.com. There's no real middle man or woman that touches the money. It just goes straight to the American Cancer Society. So if you feel so inclined, we are incredibly appreciative for any sort of donations that you make to that very worthy cause. You should also really take the opportunity to check out that episode. It was quite moving. Had a number of people on the podcast who were kind enough to be real vulnerable about the ways in which cancer have touched their lives and the lasting impact of Chadwick Boseman on comic books and culture.
And to be honest, guys, I think that brings us to our first topic of the night, and that's kind of Chadwick Boseman and the week that was, as Rain and Three said. Really tough week. We're still kind of digesting it. It's only been a couple days, but it's just a big bummer. All trying to give back in the ways that we can, but there's a big elephant in the room about this right now in the comic book world, and that's how you're making money off of Black Panther and the people that are making money off of it, and whether you should, whether you shouldn't. And I think it would just be kind of interesting that we just get into that topic a little bit and talk about, all the different views and how that's always been part of the hobby. Ben, you know, with the card scene, it's huge in the card scene. There will always be opportunists in life. There will always be people that get nostalgia during a death and want to go find those things. And I don't know. What are you guys' feelings on that type of stuff?
I will say that as far as I think the first one is there's a whole bunch of different aspects of it. First, you got autographs, which, to be honest, if you really think about anybody that's buying autographs, you're buying autographs now thinking that when that person passes away, it's going to be worth more money. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, pretty much any autograph you buy, that's, full well, once they pass, the value goes up. I don't think I don't think he did a whole lot of signings. He wasn't like a lot of the other Avengers cast that did a whole lot of signings. So I would think that those are probably going to be really difficult to find, especially like if you're looking for like a full Avengers cast. Those are going to be tough to find, and probably extremely expensive now. But I don't know. There's different aspects about the rest of it, but I think that's the first part. Is when it comes to autographs, that's kind of the whole shtick about buying autographs. I mean, it's sad to say, but that's once you know they're not going to be signing anymore once they're done. So,
well, I think that there's the, like I said, the two camps. There's the camps that are going to be opportunists and make money off of it, and there's also the people out there that want that stuff because it's a bond with that person. You know what I mean? It's that people want that stuff. And one of the things that I remember as a kid is I remember when the day that Magic Johnson announced he had AIDS or HIV. Was it AIDS or HIV? It was HIV. And I remember riding up to the card store on my bike to go buy Magic Johnson cards. You know what I mean? And I remember the card shop even having a bunch of Magic Johnson cards out and selling them for more because of that. And we saw it in the Kobe Bryant death. I mean, his cards skyrocketed. We saw it in the comics world with Stan Lee when Stan Lee died, with Prince. But there is this, and John's Box of Comics is a great comic. It seems ghoulish. It seems kind of ghoulish, and I get that. So. What do you think, Nico?
Well, in my old age, I've given up on trying to make moral value judgments for how other people live. For me, I refuse to kind of talk about what are the books to buy. I refuse to sell books to try to profiteer because an American icon has passed away from a tragic illness. But that's for me. And, I'm not really interested in, trying to figure out ways to make money on that person's death. But instead would like to celebrate their life. I think there have been people in our community that have really done an inspiring job to celebrate the life of Chadwick Boseman, period. And,
it's rough.
That's for me, right? Like, that's for me. And, if full disclosure, when I see somebody on Instagram being like, I'm going to do a live auction on this comic, it disgusts me. Right.
Yeah.
But I don't know where they're coming from either. Right. I mean, I don't know if they're trying to save their home or whatever. So I try to refrain from judgment and just decide what's right for me. And that's my decision.
I mean, it's kind of morbid too. I mean, to think about that, I mean, I have autographs of people like Hulk Hogan, right? I mean, like, will my autograph go up? Probably not, because Hulk Hogan signed a million different objects. So I mean, probably not. But I mean, it's just a cool memento that I'm gonna have forever. But I mean, it's crazy to think about. Hey, I'm gonna to go into a signing and say I'm gonna get this signed, so when he dies, I'm gonna make a lot of money. It's just,
And here's kind of the thing, right? Like, one of the great lessons that Chadwick Boseman taught America, or at least tried valiantly to. When he died, there were so many people who were like, he's a fucking crackhead. Look, he's got an eating disorder. All those sorts of like horrific, sort of ugly comments when photos of him suffering incredible weight loss leaked onto the internet. Mm-hmm. And, if we would just give people the benefit of the doubt and assume the best about other people, I think we'd lay our heads on our pillows easier at night, and the world would just be a better place for us all to live in. So, I don't want to like condemn people who are selling these books or who are looking at, opportunities to kind of make some money. I don't know where they're coming from or what their circumstances are. This is just for me personally. and that's the end of it for me.
Yeah. Thanks, Colonel Josh. We appreciate that, man. That was a tough show, and thanks everybody for coming on, especially Bill. Bill really.
Yeah, what a stud. We got to get him on one of these podcasts if I can corral him into doing it. He loves comics. He's like one of those people who his joy for comics and joy for life is palpable. You know what I mean? It was neat to introduce him to you guys. I was really excited about that.
I guess my question and is okay. So I work in the insurance world, and when there is a hurricane or something like that goes through, basically, contractors double charge. They basically price gouge, but their price is a set price. So I can see how people would be not okay with that kind of price gouging, where you're basically saying, I am now selling this $10 book for $100. Okay, so you basically set a price. But is there truly anything wrong with, a book being where you're basically saying, okay, I have this book, now I'm going to put it at auction, and I will let whatever the price goes, that's what it's going to sell for. If it sells for $5, then it sells for $5. But if it sells for $100, it sells for $100. You're not gouging at that point. You're basically saying, because pretty much, I look at all the books that I have, and I don't do a whole lot of selling, but I look at all the books that I have, and whether it's a movie announcement or a casting announcement or any kind of, or like when Rick and Morty, hit Comic Book Men, you're basically just we're all waiting for that time to sell. Now, whether it's gouging or not gouging, if you're like I said, if you're putting a set price on it and saying this is now what it costs, then that's one thing. But if you're putting it at auction and buyers are saying, hey, I want to pay that for that, then at that point, is it really the fault of the seller that it sells for, like this Funko Pop that sold for $7,000? Is it really the fault? Is it really the fault of the seller if he put it at auction? Somebody was willing to buy it at that price. Then it's on the buyer. It's not the seller's not saying, hey, I'm gouging this price. I'm just selling it just like I would sell anything else.
Yeah. I think that Steve Horn had a great question where he said, guys, when do you think it's okay to buy or sell? Weeks, months, never? Just wondering what you guys think. And that's for, answer that in the chat too, guys. But the reason I bring that up is because what about people that had Black Panther books in their books ready to list? Like, you know what I mean? Like, do you just not list those books? Do you list them at prices at what they were? Do you put them up for auction? Let the people set the price? I know that's a personal thing, but listen, it's something to talk about and maybe set. I don't know. I think it's interesting because there's a lot of people that, like you said, Nico, this is how they make their money in these times, these COVID times. This is how people are staying afloat.
Well, let's take a look at Kobe Bryant, right? Did it really matter if you listed it a day after Kobe Bryant died or months after Kobe Bryant died?
Or now.
Or now.
Yes. It's money wise, it did. Yes.
Well, his stuff is still ridiculous. Whether it's 6 months later or it's still way higher now than it was 6 months ago. So
it's why and Dan, like everybody said, there's a peak for the mountain, but it's like it's how much money, I understand I don't do it for a living, right? But some people do. But when you're at the peak of the mountain like that, if you're at the bottom back in, okay, if you lose a couple $100 and you're still selling it for, we'll say facetiously $5,000, you're still making money. It's like,
yeah, it's.
I guess I would say a couple months down the line. It's not, that's me personally. I would say probably a month or two down the line. Okay, you're not going to make probably as much as you could the day after, but it's like, at some point,
There was an interesting IG post that I saw that I actually want to bring up, and I apologize if you guys hear the fan. I'm going to pull out my headphones so you guys can hear this. Oh. All right, let's do this. So this is an IG post that I saw from a guy on IG, City Limits Comics, and I follow him on IG. I follow a lot of people on IG, and I'll see every once in a while he'll put up a little post every once in a while. And it was very interesting, his take on this stuff. So let me go ahead and this is kind of interesting. Let's see if you guys can hear this. Let me know if you guys can hear this, okay?
Welcome to this episode of We Built the City. I'm your host, Adam from City Limits Comics. All right, guys, my man Oak Cliff Comics, he made a post about 2 days ago. And you know what? I think it's time for me to weigh in because it's been bothering me as well. He's talking about people who are price hiking Black Panther comic books, all because of the death of Chadwick Boseman. This is absolutely disgraceful. I'm sorry. If you don't agree with me, if I'm saying something that's upsetting you, I apologize. That's just how I feel. Okay? I just want to point out one thing, maybe two things, maybe three. First of all, the Black Panther in Marvel comic books is a fictional person, all right? He's made up. He's in La La Land, Fairyland. It's make-believe, right? Fantastic Four, number 52, has nothing to do with Chadwick Boseman. He was playing the character. That character is not playing him. So the books have nothing to do with the death of this human. I don't understand. This is real life. This is a fairy tale land, all right? This man passed away. It's disgraceful that you think you can now take your comic books, price hike them, and make a quick buck off of someone's death, okay? It's just bothering me. It's annoying me. Number two, Chadwick Boseman was a really good person, okay? And you're just like, well, how do you know City? Did you know him? No, I absolutely did know him. We know actions speak louder than words, right? So just think about the person that he was. He made all of these movies, and he was suffering, right? Suffering from a deadly cancer. He got his butt up in the morning, did all of this acting, right? All these action roles he produced for his fans, all right? He got up every morning and he made this happen. That's remarkable. That shows his character. Looking at it. He has a will of a real superhero, right? This real life man had the will of a real superhero. Give him some credit, all right? Show him some respect for what he did, all right, to provide you guys with entertainment. Number two, this man was going to children's hospitals, right? Children dying with cancer, children with incurable diseases. He went there just to give them a little bit of hope, right? A little bit of happiness in their day, just to maybe make the treatment a little easier that day, to uplift their spirits, right? He did all of this knowing he was possibly on the same path as them. But did that stop him? Nope. Did he feel sorry for himself? Absolutely not. He kept on going. He tried to make a difference in those kids' lives. So instead of trying to price hike your books to make a quick buck off of his death, why don't you honor him? Why don't you give away some free Black Panther books? In fact, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go through a pile of my Black Panther books. I'm going to get them together, and I'm going to do
And I just wanted to post basically the majority of the video. Basically, he ends it right there. He says he's just going to give a bunch of books away. And the reason that, listen, I wanted to let all that whole thing go so you could see his whole message. The reason that I wanted to bring this topic up is because, and it's funny because Jeff Schultz made a great post at the same time he was talking about it, and that is doing it for charity, right? Throwing up a bunch of books on eBay and saying that, hey, you know what? All these go to charity. Creating a GoFundMe, you know, like happened the other night, which happened on multiple other places. I think I saw Wanted Comics did a Black Panther 1 through 6 set, and it has 6 days left. And I think like the first a couple hours it was at $170, and all of that is going to charity. That's the type of stuff that what I really kind of wanted to bring this conversation up with. And something interesting that I saw Sanctum Sanctorum do was they, on their Instagram, they have and Nico, can you tell me if I'm right here? Because I believe this is a new variant that they're doing. And they are, I'm going to take you, you might want to take yourself off mute. But this is a new variant they're doing, and they're going to give all the proceeds to charity, right?
Yeah, the proceeds are going to St. Jude. Really, just an awesome move by a great retailer. I don't buy a lot of new books, but my best friend loves these guys. He does all of his pre-orders through them. He buys like high-end ratio variants. They send them to him in full, or not just like. They send them in top loaders. I mean, they don't just like get there safe. They get there safe and ready to display. And then, when they do something like this, I just couldn't be more grateful for their impact on comics. And this is kind of like the stuff that I prefer to hear about, right? Like people who are being the change they want to see in the world, as opposed to, condemning other people for what they feel is, not the right behavior. I just think it's a better worldview, and
they're in my backyard too, man. They're like literally down the street from where I work, so they're nice guys. I know them. So,
this is the type of stuff I guess that I appreciate City Limits Comics for letting us use that and talk about it. But here's another example that I was talking about. This is Wanted Comics putting up. And listen, guys, if anything that I want to talk about during this stuff and this like elephant in the room stuff is this is the type of stuff that we need to key on and doing stuff for the better. And I get it. People need to make money and this and that. That's fine too. Listen, it's what you have to do in your life. But there's always that don't be an asshole. Just don't be an asshole. Right? Just don't be an asshole.
Yeah, and I think Nico kind of touched on it and I mean, these are great. I mean, obviously this is stating what they're doing with it. But you really don't know what people do with their money. I will say that I know several people that they do a ton of charity work on a daily basis, and they don't announce it at all. I mean, they don't say a word about it. So even if you know that or don't know that, just know that there are people out there that, while they may not come out because they don't see it that they should be announcing how much they're giving away, they see it as that's something that I'm doing under the radar. I don't want credit for it. I don't want anything like that. Just know that there's a very strong possibility that sometimes people sell things, some people do things, and then they turn around and actually do something for good with that, but they may never actually announce that. So when you see this City Limits guy, basically shaming everyone who's doing that, again, I think there's a huge difference between setting a buy it now price and doing an auction. But either way, know that sometimes people do things with that money that you have no idea what they're doing with it. Maybe they're actually taking that money and like Nico said, it's feeding their family, or maybe they're doing it as a life lesson to their kids, or they're saying, hey, look, this is, you just have no idea. So it's real easy to jump in and judge people for what you view as being wrong, or you being as heartless. But I mean, there's a lot of comic stores that do a lot of charity work, and they need to stay in business to be able to do that charity work. And if they can sell a couple extra comic books to be able to do that, it's not really our place to judge what their intent to do it with that money is. You're on mute, Brian.
I've been bad about this. One thing I will say, that I give respect to you guys as well as City Limit Comics for going up there and giving what his opinion is, but showing what he's going to do also. It's one thing to give your opinion, but it's another thing to say, this is what I'm doing, right? And I know it happens a lot in comics. We get this a lot in comics where the comic community, listen, we all sell comics, but somebody gets mad at somebody else and they say, look, they're selling comics on, this is their eBay store, they're selling comics stuff. You know, it's like, listen, we all sell comics. We all are in this community. We all do this, you know, but also to say, this is where I'm selling comics. This is why I'm selling comics. This is what I'm going to do instead of selling comics. I respect you for doing that and appreciate that for everybody out there doing it. All right. So again, a lot of heartfelt things in the comments tonight, and we appreciate it. And we just wanted to kind of, you know, see it from a couple different angles, talk about it a little bit, also do our best to kind of key in on the people that are doing things. Yeah, like City Limit Comics. If he's going to give books away, give him props for that. Sanctum Sanctorum, you know, what they're doing here, props to that. Drew over at Wanted Comics, what he's doing, that is great. You know, more people doing stuff like this is awesome, and it's very cool.
And it's funny because we've all known Drew for a long time, and Drew does so much charity work. It's not even funny. Anytime we did CBSI like fundraisers, he was always the first one to come on board and like throw stuff around, and he's always one of those guys who always above and beyond when it comes to doing it the right way. So
yeah, yep. All right. Oh boy, craziness. All right. Before we go any further, I do want to remind everybody we have some books that we're giving away tonight based on things that happened last week's show. One of them was we've got. Thank you for everybody that commented on YouTube. We've got all your guys' names already, so that's all ready to go at the end of the show. But the other one is that I need a little bit of help with. And so I'm going to ask you guys, everybody that reposted on IG the Flipside post, the Thor post that we asked you to repost on the Greg Horn cover that Greg Horn did with Wanted Comics. We asked you to repost it. Please make a comment in the live chat. If you did, give me your IG name so I can put you on the list. And then at the end of the night, we'll take all those and put them on the wheel, spin them, and check to make sure that you did post when, you know, like you said, and yada, yada. So, all right. So, yeah, just if you did post an IG, put it in the comments. Let me know your IG name, and I'll write that stuff down. All right. On to the next one. Let's see here. What do we got, gentlemen? Here's another comic community thing. Like there's a lot of stuff happening in the comic community right now. Another one was this interesting stuff that's going on based on retailer variants, and I guess an online. We have the little post here, so it's Frankie's Comics is taking a lot of slack right now, because I guess they're talking about no longer wanting to disclose retail variant print runs.
I don't know that that's precisely accurate.
Okay.
They indicated apparently to their Facebook group, which I'm a member of, that on selected books for some amount of time for the foreseeable future, they will not be disclosing a fixed print run. So there's been a lot of animosity from people on social media.
The comic book community.
Long story short, I thought this was kind of a good sort of teachable moment to talk about print runs, Comic Cron, North American direct market distribution numbers, and sort of issues around that, and kind of talk about store variants, retailer variants, call them what you like, because there's just a lot of hard feelings. I mean, people fall into a lot of different camps. Some people hate them. Some people will only buy selected covers for their personal collection. Other people have incredible relationships with specific shops. Some people will buy from only certain shops. Some people will buy every store exclusive they see. And it's just kind of an interesting topic. And I thought it was important to sort of talk about the risk of print on demand, the fact that, there's a lot of retailers. For example, I interviewed Brent from IG Comics Store, and one of the first questions I asked him is, well, there's a certain number of books you have to order from the big guys, right? Marvel, DC, if you're going to get a retail exclusive variant, but you don't film, at least not anymore, you guys destroying the extra copies. They had done that in the past. People didn't really seem too interested in it, and they thought it was just kind of a waste of time. They're a trusted retailer, and nobody seems to bat an eyelash at it. And then you've got like my buddy Jimmy on UD would just ripping books apart, and people were even mad about that. How dare you destroy these books? So it's like, please all, please none. Nobody seems real happy about much of anything, and I kind of wanted to see what you guys thought about it.
I think it's very interesting. I think it's something that we need to look at. And this is in no way ripping on Frankie's. Like Nico said, he's part of the Facebook group. I've bought multiple recent books from Frankie's. They did an awesome G.I. Joe cover. So this is no ways. This is actually trying to look at it from different sides of the community.
Hey, and I met Kevin over at Baltimore. He's one of the nicest guys on the planet too. Like, he hooked us up. He hooked me up on a Deadpool. I bought a bunch of books of Deadpool from him. No problems. Like, I've never heard a bad thing about Kevin. So.
Now, the other issue that I wanted to talk about, and we don't have a graphic for that, is one that drives me fucking crazy personally. It is what it is, though. I mean, they can do it. Is when I'll go and buy one of these variants, right? Like, the XXX variant, and then 48 hours later, they'll drop the XXX metal cover. And you're like, what the? Like, really? You have to drop a more limited book second that I can't get my hands on, or that I don't even know about, or I stop paying attention to, or, and that's just kind of like a sort of like a personal thing. But I see it happen to me again and again, and I'm just like, are you kidding me?
So the chat's on point, and I guess I could talk about this too. So Rob's Nerd Haven. Kevin's a good guy. He's just tired of bots buying up his small run books. A lot of people keep saying bots are in every collectible hobby. There's no way 100% guarantee they can't access the books you want. So bots are a big thing. So people,
take care of your roommate.
Yeah. So the guys, so people who I guess I'll break it down for nomenclature is bots. We're talking about guys who run third party apps to, just like if you want to buy tickets on Ticketmaster or concerts, things that are auto preloaded on websites so you can check out faster, things that are getting automated. You can do site refreshes. You can open up virtual windows and have like 1 million virtual windows going at one time. So for the normal users who has one page or a couple of pages opening and refreshing and trying to get in, these guys have 1 million instances, we'll say, opening at one time, and it's just guaranteeing trying to get as many copies of whatever collectible it is at one time.
Yeah. And one of the other things I think it's important to sort of mention is, like, these people can do whatever they want with their books. They're their books. They're a retailer, right? Like, if they want to burn them, they can.
Yep.
If they want them to be print on demand, they can. I think the sentiment from the community is, just universally one where we appreciate transparency and, I think smart buyers speak with their dollars. So if a certain business doesn't have a practice that you agree with, you don't participate in it.
Yep.
That's it.
What is the? I guess there's two questions I have, because I didn't even know about this until you guys mentioned this to me just before we went on air. One, what is the point of buying store exclusives? I mean, are you buying it because of print run just to flip, or are you buying it for a different reason? And two, first of all, the bot thing, he did I remember it was maybe 2 months ago. He did a thing with the Star Wars, the Rey Peach Momoko variant.
Mm-hmm.
And he basically just had a thing on his page only. And it's, he basically said, you need to comment. If whoever comments here, there's 250 of them available. Whoever comments, or 500, however many there were, will basically get into a raffle. And if you get in the top 500 or 250 or whatever the print run was, then you get one copy. So I'm not sure how a bot could steal that at that point.
They can't. That's a smarter capture version of doing it that way. So you couldn't really do that unless you were, unless you had a bunch of Facebooks. I'm sure it was by Facebook, right, Ben? You did on Facebook?
Yeah, it was on Facebook.
So the only way I could do it, and not saying I'm the most IT person here, but it's like the only way I would do it is I would have a bunch of fake profiles already loaded and just comment as much as I could on the posts, but I'd have to get in and get into the group and all that stuff.
You're right. It's not a thing that you could just run at any point. Yeah. And I guess, and again, I think when you're talking about, the Marvel 3000 print run, that the retailers are required to adhere by. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, is anybody really buying a 3000 print run thinking that they're going to make a fortune off of that book? I would think that in general, most people that are buying those are just buying because they like the cover art. They're not necessarily buying, they're not buying it for the collectability portion of it, because any more 3000 is not low.
And I bet you 1% of those people actually read the comic front to back.
Yeah, it just sounds like the only people that are really mad about this are people that are trying to flip the book for profit. Yep. It's not the average guy. I think the average guy that that's going to spend $15 on a Marvel store variant doesn't really care if it's worth more than $15. They just like the cover and they want the book, and they're like, yeah, it's not it's not going to have a print run of 50,000, so I'll just buy it at $15. It's 3 times the cover price. That's okay. I'll do that. Now if he was doing this and and trying to make it seem like it was kind of backdooring it, making it kind of like what Nico said is hey, there are some retailers out there that do that. They'll purposefully only put a portion of the print run up first, and it sells out, and it makes it seem like it's rare, and then the secondary market, then the price goes up. And then all of a sudden, that same store, 3 weeks later, we have a warehouse find of another 500 copies of it. Then at that point, that's a little different. But if he's not doing that, if he's basically saying, hey, I don't really care what the secondary market is, I've got these, they're going to be on my website until they sell out, then I don't have a problem with it. If he's doing it the opposite, like I said, like some of these other retailers where they're kind of manipulating the market, that's a whole different story.
Howdy, Paul. How you doing, brother?
Hey, I'm good. As long as I'm not messing up the audio too much, I'll hang out for a little bit driving.
Okay, sounds good. All right. Yeah, I just also feel like the transparency is the key. I think that in everything, transparency is the key. But I also, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like you should.
We've talked about this a long time, and Stein with cards. We always talk about this. You either number the books, but and then the hard thing is that like CGC, you're not going to get blue labels, right? Unless you sit there and try to partner with them, and that's not always a guarantee either.
Well, all those John Tyler Christopher ones, they now put it on the label. Yep. Book was manufactured with whatever print run number on it. I think CGC may have turned the corner on that now, mm-hmm. And as long as it's not something that's hand numbered, I think if it's stamped or something like that, and the company or whoever it is states it up front, hey, this is what's going to be on the books, then I think CGC is just they're going to be okay with it.
Good. I think that's the way to do it from now on. Then you don't have to worry about it, and it's stamped and printed, printed numbers or whatever you want to call it. It's
Hey, if Frankie's is basically saying, hey, I'm not going to give you a print run on this, he's the one that's taking the risk that nobody's going to buy it. So, if he wants to do that, that's on him.
It's a business. It's a business.
I will say he will push away anybody who's trying to flip that book.
Which, like
because-
you said, is 90% of the market, probably.
Right.
I mean, even
So-
higher, probably 95%.
Yeah, so I mean, he is definitely taking a big risk by doing that, because we saw what happened with rags when they were like, well, this isn't going to be limited at all. Anybody who wants it can have it. Well, the price just plummeted, and nobody wanted it then. So if he wants to take that risk, more power to him.
And
Yeah.
it'll be interesting because rags, we all talked about, we know rags, and I won't get too much into detail about it. Not saying it's the way they ran their thing. They didn't handle that very the best of ways either. You know what I'm saying, with the backlash and all the craziness that happened after that. So we'll see what Frankie does after that. I mean, once his first book released, and how does he,
But do you guys ever buy anything print on demand? I refuse to. I mean, Tim Walker and I found the sweetest cover ever. Bruce Timm, just gorgeous book. And I found a plug. I think he found the book and I found the plug. And then we found out it was print on demand. Then it was like, yeah, so we're going to need you to cancel our orders. You know what I mean?
Well, let's talk about the print on demand stuff, because, man, I don't understand why the companies would do that at this point for some of those things.
Yeah, I mean, if you
and that's not to suggest Frankie's is doing that, because
No.
evidence to that effect. But like, that is the next logical step, though, right?
Why aren't you doing this? Like, what's the reason?
I mean, cards are the same way, right? But cards are the same way, right, Ben? Like Topps now, don't they do print on runs?
Well, yeah, I mean,
hockey. Remember that?
Well,
Yeah.
well, see, if you've kind of followed cards, so basketball was basically everything that was coming out in basketball for the past year now. Basically, you can't find it. It goes on shelves, and there's dudes standing. There's 25 people standing at Target waiting for them to put it out on a shelf. But what happened back in maybe January, February, something like that. So there was a product called Optic, and it came out, and it sold out. And basically kind of it just disappeared, and everybody thought, well, that was it. Well, then maybe a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, all of a sudden it started showing up on shelves again.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, where did this come from? Did Panini start double printing the cards that everybody thought were done printed? Now are they still printing them? What are they doing? So that you can't shoot the collectible market in the foot, because they're the ones who are basically buying your product. So if you shoot them, you're not going to have a business. You have to realize that the collectible market is, while you may not like what's going on, if you did not have them, the rags thing was a perfect example. Those books were selling, and they were basically funding those creators of rags, and until they decided that they were going to do this print on demand, and now all of a sudden their business just dropped. I mean, they basically said, well, we don't care if we make money. Okay, well, you're not going to.
Yeah.
So, but Marvel is in the business of making money. Frankie's is in the business of making money. Otherwise, they wouldn't be in business.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if they want to take that chance, great. But once you do it, once you screw the community once on that, if it happens, they will not come back. Nobody will ever, the people that are buying your books in mass, it will dramatically drop, and you will feel it in your pocketbook. And if that's how you want to play it, that's on you.
Yeah. And Rain threes, hey man, hey, don't disrespect me going to Target in my pajamas, okay? I need to get some cards.
You can only go to Walmart in your pajamas. You can't go to Target in your pajamas.
Hey.
You got to go there in your in your basketball shorts. It's way high class compared, right?
Hey man, and I don't stand in line. I walk with the realtor or the distributor, man. I walk with them and say, listen, man, listen.
Yeah, McClay, you're on mute again, bro.
Just because it came up, this just came out. I know some people, might not like Jab's Family. I get it. I love watching them still. I just watch, but this recent video from Jab's Family just cracked me up.
Welcome back to another brand new video. Today I am bringing you a video from Walmart where I ran into a flipper buying every single packaging option of basketball, every single pack of Chronicles, every blaster box of Chronicles, every mega box of Chronicles, and every single product of the brand new 2019 to 2020 Illusions. He's just taking them and throwing entire cases in his cart. There's 4 new case displays, and he wanted to take them all. The stock person there told him that she needed to get a picture showing that she had stocked them all, so he's eventually going to have to take those back out and put them back on the shelf so that she can finish doing her job while he hovers over her trying to do her job. Felt really bad for her. And then talking to her, I was like, is it okay? Can I get some of those as well, or does he get all of them? And she said it first come, first serve. And he eventually, to get me to go away, said, how about 4 blasters? Now, I looked up this guy. I don't know who he is, but he was wearing a Norwin shirt, which is a school district in Irwin, Pennsylvania. And lo and behold, I found somebody selling a whole bunch of everything, basketball and chrome and from baseball from Irwin, which made me very, very disappointed. Just look at all this stuff. So this is why I can't find cards at Walmart, because they're all at this guy's house. He gave me a story that he.
So, yeah.
So me and Brian, before I guess we call it the pre-show, we were talking about this. I don't even go to I go to Target now, and I don't even go there anymore. Like, I mean, I go there and I don't even look in the card market. It's the same snapshot, at least around my area. Now the new McMansion I'm moving up to, had to send Benson out to go get my cards. We'll figure that out, what I'm saying? But yeah, I haven't bought cards in forever, guys. I really haven't. Like, I mean, why? I mean, I read an article. It was on my local news Facebook. They're saying that cards have become the new pandemic. We've talked about this, a new pandemic of collectibles, where people have time on their hands now, and they can go in lunch breaks and go and hit up 6 Walmarts and then go back to work. It's not very good, man.
Well, I mean, Ultramasses is saying y'all can have the cards and I'll do comics. Well, is there really any difference between the guy showing up on Wednesday and buying every single copy right off of the shelf? No, there's no difference at all.
I mean look at Mel. We always talk about Mel, right? Mel is doing Midtown line, right? Either 1 or 2 in line, and you're buying every variant. That's
I guess I will say that I think the trickle down effect of that is that in general it helps everybody, because the price of everything goes up, and it makes everything it kind of brings like a feverish pace and stuff to everything, and they're like, oh my gosh, I got to buy this because it's going to go up. It's going to be more expensive a month from now. So I think in general, it's kind of the same thing with comics. I think in general, it might be healthy for the industry as a whole for that to happen, because if people aren't paying premiums for things, then things aren't going to be worth what we're not going to be selling $1,000 Amadeus Chos or $1,000 or $2,000 Miles Morales, because if they were readily available for everybody, they would not be worth that. So
that goes back right to the print run thing, and all the stuff about the print runs is there's that slippery slope that you play. Are you getting too close to not having enough, or too close to having too much and just destroying the market? So
But there are so many new people. This COVID thing has brought so many new people into both comics and cards, and those people are making good money off of it. So I don't necessarily think that they're going to go away.
Well, and the cards thing is, I mean, for comics, it's one thing, because I don't think nobody's reading 65 things of like 60. You buy, we'll say facetiously, 10 books of one cover, and they're not reading your comics. Same with cards, right? They're not like they're going home like we all did when we were, 6 months ago and ripping cards just to see what we got. These guys are just selling sealed cases or sealed boxes. Like, it'd be different if they were buying 4 cases of cards and ripping them all on their channel or doing whatever, you know what I'm saying? Or
Well, but I mean, a lot of those guys that's exactly what they're doing. I mean, they're breaking the cards right there live, and they're instead of selling the unopened product, they're just selling the
Live.
product after I mean, so it's kind of the same thing.
But they're not doing it for their own personal like collection.
No,
they're doing it
no.
for, you know, yeah.
No, but I mean, it's that excitement. I mean, and honestly, I mean, I lived through. I mean, I was collecting cards back in the early '80s, '90s, comics in the '90s. I mean, so I lived through all of that, and I do not ever remember the mass appeal. I mean, across all kinds of people. But second, just the enormous price increases. I would have never even considered paying, you know, what half of these things are going for in both cards and comics. The comics thing is bizarre. I mean, things that I would never think are worth anything, I mean, are selling for hundreds of dollars easily.
Well,
And
the cards are the same way. And the problem too is they're exponentially going up in value. I mean, like, you know, a case of comics or just, you know, 10 blasters are worth $600 today. It's like ridiculous. I mean, they're only, you know, say they're what's a blaster pack, like, you know, or whatever. It's like 40 bucks or $20, and they're selling for $300. It's like it's ridiculous. I mean,
so did you see the thing? Somebody posted something, and they were like, "Should I take this offer?" And it was on a blaster box, so they cost like 25, you know, bucks or something like that, and it was from 2018, and the offer on it was $950.
Yep.
And I mean, that's a humongous, I mean, markup on something like that. But again, comics are the same way. I mean, people are paying ridiculous amounts for stuff that a lot of us picked up a year ago for $3 or $4 or something like that. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I'm not going to smash it at all. I love it because it's keeping my interest in all kinds of things right now that I probably, if there wasn't really that, I mean, it's almost like what you're trying to get ahead of the game. So I understand why Frankie's is doing what he's doing, but I also understand why people are mad. But they really shouldn't be mad at Frankie's. They really should be kind of mad at themselves or Marvel for not publishing. And it's not just you know, store variants. Why aren't they publishing real numbers of any of the books that they put out? I mean, we can't really know. I mean, yeah, we go by Comic-Con, but we don't really know if that's an actual number or not. Why can't Marvel tell us how many? It's really a lot of times in cards, you can figure exactly how many cards are out there just based on the odds stated on packs. You can and you know, you can figure exactly how much product is out there.
Doc J, you joke about that, but they were doing exactly that in 1990. Pro Set Football and Pro Set Hockey, looking for the Lombardi Trophy hologram and the Stanley Cup hologram. They were putting that shit through airplane scanners and stuff, looking for that. Crazy stuff. All right, let's get into. God bless you. Let's get into the market report real quick. We got some fun stuff with the market report. Let me pull that stuff up. We also got some interesting. This is all from the wonderful mind of Jon Z, who could not make it with us tonight. He's working the long hours, but we'll try and knock some of these out. All right, let's see here. So I'm going to start with, let's go over here. I think I'm going to go backwards. So I'm going to start with this guy. Here we go. This is the all-new Marvel Now, 0.1, 2014, first appearance of Kamala Khan. Recently sold for $761. This is a 9.8 CGC, and it's the first printing of this, which is interesting. 2 sales this day, both the same price. So 2 were sold, I guess, for $761. That's kind of weird. Does that make sense? Oh, no, wait, hold on. Does that sound right? Is that? I'm gonna make sure I'm writing I'm looking at the right things. I don't know if he's putting it. Okay, he's putting it below. Okay. Sorry, guys. All right. Yeah, 2 sales the same day, same price. Census 9.8, 184. 2018, they're $350. 2019, 401. 90 day, 646. High sale of $1,000 on August 22nd. And then the interesting thing is the next book is the second printing, which is kind of interesting. And of course, this one goes for quite a bit more. Here's one that $1,500, $1,551. There's 17.98 on the census. I guess these sales numbers, is he saying, Nico, that in 2018 there was 3 of them that sold for $399? Does that sound right?
I have absolutely no idea. I just picked the books. He was kind enough to do the data. Sorry.
2019, $318. 90 day, $1,092. On June 11th, one sold for $291. On August 1st, one sold for $1,250. On August 10th, one sold for $1,450. So this sucker just keeps on going up. What do you guys think feelings on this Kamala Khan's craziness with these .1s?
It's a lot. I mean, I mean, if you see the trend, so the first print spiked and it's kind of settled back. This one, the second print is still going up. I passed on a second print 4 months ago, and it was sitting in a bin for $75, and I obviously should have bought it. But I don't know. I mean, I'm still the jury, I think, is still out long term on these second prints. But honestly, there's been so much money thrown at them at this point. I'm not sure that they're going to come back down.
Yeah, I think Ben's analysis is spot on. What's interesting is that we're seeing for the first time since, I don't know, 2010, 2011, 2012, these color variants are no longer the redheaded stepchild of comics, right? Like for a long time, when interior art was plucked out, it's no good. When it's just a color variation, didn't really matter. Back in the day, that was a big deal with Tech 871, The Walking Dead 33, the color variation. Like, people liked those books and sort of anticipated that something like this may happen in the future. So they were stockpiling them. You saw a big escalation with the Walking Dead book, not so much with the first Scott Snyder Batman, with Tech 871. But what's interesting is looking at these two books in comparison to the Captain Marvel 17 second print 9.2. I think it might be the next book.
Yeah, 1 second here.
How much has that Tech 871 second print gone up to?
Nothing.
And that's surprising, because that's a really hard book to find, and that red is
gorgeous. Pain in the butt. Yeah, I don't have one, so I shouldn't talk too much about it. It's
a gorgeous book. If you are looking at color books, that cover is so underrated compared to 880. I think the 871 is gorgeous. But that red second print is really, really nice. I'm surprised.
I'll actually pull that one up. That was Detective, right?
Yeah. How about this one? I was like, holy crap, for a 9.2. Remember, it was just a few short weeks ago that I got a 9.8 for about this much.
Yep. And I thought this one would be the book that skyrockets, not Marvel .1 second print. I thought these would be $3,000.
It is $3,000.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
$500. Yeah, but I still never thought. I mean, I never in a million years did I think that it was going to go up. This is a 9.2. Dude,
I had a 9.8. I gave it to Coy. Remember Stein remembers this back in the day. I gave one away. That's how crazy I was.
Yeah.
What's weird about this one though is, like, I don't know about you guys, but I don't even think of this book as a second print. I know it is, but because the
cover and it's like always
because
been,
that artist is not, it's not interior art, it's its own art, and it looks like just a variant.
I agree.
So that's kind of the thing that I think is starting to happen is, right, we're seeing these later printings, whether they're second, third, fourth, whatever, with different art, sometimes even if it's interior art, being treated like they are ratio variants, because I think smart buyers are starting to appreciate like, there's not really that much of a difference between them.
Sorry, Nico, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, and I don't think anybody really cares anymore that they came out 3 months later.
Right.
I don't think it matters. The CGC label still says first appearance.
Yep.
So I don't think they care.
There are 441 9.8s or 9.8s on the census. Is that right? Of this book total? There's only 441 total.
Total.
Yeah. 222 9.8s, 129 9.6s, 47 9.4s, and 18 9.2s. The 9.8 sales record was 3,500. Last sale was 2,900. 90 day is 2,169. 9.2 in 2018, $336. A 9.2 in 2019, $536. 90 day on the 9.2 just won in March 2nd for $475.
For the record, I watched Stein sell one of these out of his box at a local show near his home without a price tag on it. I was just like, somebody was just like, how much for that? And, whatever, came up with the price, gone. I was just like, you got a Captain Marvel 17-second print in the box over there?
Well, yeah. Yeah, I remember that.
Right, like it was no big deal.
I remember that, and I mean that was almost 2 years ago now. But yeah, I mean that was one that I stole from Jon Z. I bought out of one of his local shops in Indianapolis. So it was fine. It got in somebody else's hand who actually was aware of our show here, and so I was perfectly fine with moving it for a good price to him.
Here's that Detective 871 second print. That is a gorgeous cover. Absolutely.
Isn't that gorgeous?
Yep.
I mean, even the first print's beautiful. The first print's just as nice, but I mean, it's nice. But
I think what we're seeing with the color variants is when it looks better, for whatever reason, people like them. That's certainly true of the Hawkeye 9 second print, this one, and we could go on for a minute.
Yeah. I agree. All right, on to this next one. Young Avengers, the Wizard World LA Con Edition sketch variant, 9.8, sold for $640. Let me bring this one up here. And this is interesting. Census is a complete mess. Multiple listings for this book, and the 9.5s are not broken out. What? I don't understand that. Maybe he mistyped that. 9.5s.
9.6s?
He did not mistype that. There's a 9.5 that Wizard World released. They're numbered one of whatever. They're going for an astronomical sum. These guys, just because I think we talked about that before, just because of how the case is labeled, I find that to be bizarre and ridiculous, but it's other people's money. They can spend it how they want. This book, I think, is down, is it not?
Yeah, it says roughly 525 total in the census. 400 are in 9.8. 2018, $173. 2019, $346. 90 days, $563. August 17th was a $930 sale. August 23rd was an $870 sale, and August 29th was a $700 sale. So it is dropping.
Yeah, I think this still, me personally, yes, this one is rarer than the first print, but this kind of goes back to a lot of these sketch covers just don't look as nice. The color looks nicer than the sketch cover.
Yeah.
If I'm going to spend $500-$600 on this book, I'm going to buy the color.
Yeah, well, and how about these damn the labeled ones that are selling for like $2,500? Apparently, there was a $3,000 sale that I wasn't aware of, but yeah, I mean, just astronomical sums, and I can't understand what people are doing and why they would spend that kind of money, but for a numbered case, but they are. And
Why did they put 9.5?
I have no idea how they brokered this deal, but it was like a Wizard World exclusive, I believe. I don't remember the finer details. It never really like interested me because it wasn't like it was a unique book inside. It was just a unique case.
And
so
that is weird.
Well, for it to be selling for like, I don't know, 5-6 times as much as the 9.8, unbelievable.
That is weird.
Doesn't make sense. All right, on to the next one. An oldie but goodie. Amazing Spider-Man number 300, CGC 9.8.
That's a big number.
Yeah. Yeah.
$3,000? Man.
See? I mean, that's like it's generally like a $2,000 book.
Yeah.
I never thought when I got back into comics, this book had, I mean, hundreds and hundreds of sales that never varied between 950 and 1,050 for like 3 years. Like it never changed. The book price was exactly the same for 3 years. Like the odds of that happening are just unbelievably rare. And then all of a sudden it jumped to $2,000, and it was like instant, like within like a month, doubled in price, which made no sense. And now it's up to $3,000.
When I saw it, I was just like, screenshot. We'll be talking about that one tonight. Oh my,
man! And what's funny is it's still. I mean, yes, this has got the iconic cover. It's got the the cool 300 number, and all that. But I would, if I'm gonna books that skyrocket like that, even like Hulk 181. I still want a clean, clear-cut first appearance. I don't want something that is argued with a bunch of people. Like this is still argued that this isn't really the first appearance that 299 is. So I would rather have something that is like, oh, that is definitely the first appearance, for it to be. I mean, like I said, this one's got the cover, and that's what, and the number, and that's got all that going for it, and that's great. But man, that's a big number.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I like this book, and it's one I would like to have a 9.8. I don't, but I mean,
This is a book I've never owned.
I wasn't willing to pay for a 9.8 when it was $2,000. I'm sure still not willing to do it now.
Hold on, Ben. You've never owned a single copy or a 9.8?
I've never owned a single copy of ASM 300. Never.
Wow. I misunderstood. I'm like Brian. I was like, oh, well, he didn't own a 9.8 either. Okay.
Nope.
That's wild.
And Venom back then was one of my favorite characters. Now, what's funny is I switched to Carnage being my favorite character over Venom. I thought the brutality of Carnage was more interesting, and especially when they started doing weird things with Venom and kind of made him like the good guy. That was really weird. Yeah, I've never owned this one ever. Not even in like low grade.
That's very interesting, because this is the book that most people it's one of their starters of their collection if they get into it,
Yep.
Heavy.
All right, so this is interesting. So the census total, almost 23,000 books on the census, just under 23,000. 9.9s. Guess how many 9.9s?
6.
10. Close. 9.8s, 1,324 on the census. Record high sale in 2018 for 3,500. Also, 2 sold at the end of August for 3,200.
Wow.
2018 average $2,283. $2,283. 2019 average was $1,914. 90-day is $2,591. Interesting. Very interesting.
Wow.
All right. Next one, let's see here. What do we got here? We've got Astonishing Tales 25, CGC 9.8. First appearance of Deathlock. First George Perez art at Marvel. This is one of my favorite books for a long time. I've always loved this book. And very wide price swings on this book. There are 77 in the census at 9.8. In 2018, the average was $1,294. In 2019, the average was $1,405. 90-day average is $1,916. June 26, 2020 had a record high sale of $2,225. A 9.6 GPA, 540.
Wow.
I love this book. I've always loved this book. I like it because it's got the George Perez art. It's got that's right
in your niche area.
Yep, you got it.
Yeah, I like it. He's one of the last characters, like classic characters, that hasn't been developed for live action, I think. I don't know that Marvel necessarily is going to go this direction anytime soon, but it's an interesting character. A little too close to Cyborg, maybe. Now that DC's done live action Cyborg and then doubled down with a Justice League TV series on HBO Max. But like Brian and presumably like you, Ben, I like that it's the first George Perez at Marvel too.
I was like, where did Brian? Brian's muted again. Muted and off camera.
Fucking dogs driving me crazy now. All right. Next one. Marvel Spotlight 32, first appearance of Spider-Woman. CGC 9.6 sold for $655. I don't know. What are your guys' thoughts on this? I feel like this is.
I can't remember I should know from. I think this book was number 1 on the Hot 10 list 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So I should know what 9.6s sell for, but my mind, I got way too many numbers floating through here, and now they're just. Whew. And
he doesn't have this on his list.
Yeah, I think this is spot on at about GPA, is my recollection. Not an incredibly rare book, a tougher 9.8 because of the dark cover, but we didn't see, I think, prolonged growth in this book. Like I thought we were going to after the Olivia Munn directorial news. And I think
not Olivia Munn, Olivia Wilde.
Olivia Wilde, I apologize. Thank you. Sorry. Mixing up my Attack of the Show stars. Yeah. But long story short, it's like I think people are starting to figure out that maybe she's not the character that we're going to see. And if she is, they're trying to get in on the 9.8.
Well, this actually, I just pulled a GPA on this.
You got it?
Yep, and this is actually for a 9.6. This is an all-time high.
Wow.
Yeah, one sold.
How high?
Okay, so let's see here. Just in the last 10 days, starting on August 20th, we have sale of 9.6 sales of 515, 550, 435, 550, 395, and 655.
Dang. Still not the explosive growth I kind of would have thought.
Not
right?
9.8
Not
copies. 9.8 copies. Let's see here. The last 9.8 sold for $1,640, but that was 3 weeks ago, and that's about what. That's still kind of like as high as it's ever been, but it's not like it's gone way up from there.
Yeah, interesting. All right. I still don't understand. I know I get the Olivia Wilde stuff, and I don't understand this character. I don't see any reason to bring her into the MCU, this exact character, but who knows? All right. We had to throw the Black Panther book up there. He put this up there. This is, I guess, recent. We'll just give you the numbers on this because he had it in the list. Let's see here. A 7.5 also sold for $18.99 on the same day. Census total for 4,724 in the census, 9.85, 9 and 17 9.6s, 5 9.8s. So anyways, top sale at a 9.8 was November 2016 at $65,725. And when the movie came out in February 2018, GPA 2018 average was 1231. 2019 was 1531, and I don't know what that means, but whatever. Not a record high. There have been a few at 1,800 and 1,900, but not many in the last couple of years. Books in the past have fluctuated a lot in price. So we'll see. Back to the conversation we had at the beginning of the show. They're out there, and we'll see what happens. All right, oldie, but a really oldie, really goodie. Batman 47, first detailed origin of Batman. Very, very cool. $4,000 for a 6.0. Very interesting. And the origin of the Batmobile. No, wait. Is it the origin of the Batmobile? No.
Just Batman.
Just Batman. Look at the Batmobile. Look at the Batcopter. This one, let me pull it up. Census 261 are graded. The top graded is a 9.4, and there is one at a 9.0, 13 at a 6.0. GPA 2018, $2,500. March 12th, where there was a 2,000 sale for about 2,100, and now this at double. 6.5 March 2019 for 2,640, and book is trending up in most grades.
Can I tell you guys, I've been talking about this book privately among my comic book friends. I think you have heard me do that, Brian.
Oh, yeah.
Right. And I was like, dude, this book's going to jump. This book's going to jump. This book's going to jump. Yeah, right. Yeah, it's cheap. It's super cheap. I was able to pick up a 5.5 Canadian for like an incredibly cheap amount. The reason that I like this one is because you think about like the origin of the Joker in Tech 168. That's like, oh, I don't know, almost 10 grand a point, and people can't afford Tech 27. They can't afford Batman 1. So, here you've got like an attainable grail. And I think you're going to see more and more people hone in on this book. I don't know that we'll necessarily see explosive growth, but it's pretty sweet. I'm also, again, one of those people who loves origins. I think that that's something that this modern market, and I don't mean like modern comic books, I just mean like the comic market we're in, doesn't sort of cherish and celebrate like, comics have for 50 frickin' years, right? It was like first appearance, #1 book, first issue, if the first appearance wasn't in the first issue, #2 book, #3 book, or #2 book, origin. And it's not like that anymore. And I'm wondering if we'll ever return to that. That may just be me being nostalgic for story-driven spikes in books. I know Ben, because I've heard him talk about it, was like, yeah, you're crazy. That's not going to happen. That happens. It's probably a more realistic worldview than my like naive idealism. But
hey, but I will say this. The way that things are going, where one, people can't afford a regular first appearance anymore because they're $1,000, $2,000 books now. I mean, for these popular characters. So now people are moving to first cover appearance, or best variant. So right. Why not origin story?
It'd be a lot cooler if they did.
Honestly, you look at and it's probably got several things, but I mean, even that Ultimate Spider-Man or the Ultimate Comics 1, the Miles Morales. I mean, yeah, okay, that's one. It's not his first cover appearance. It is the first, I guess, his first solo series, but it is an origin. It's an origin story. So, I can see that for some of these characters that especially have like kind of like a resonating you know with general public and stuff like that. I can see these origin stories coming back at some point. Hey, everything else does. My 14-year-old daughter came in the other day and said, "Hey, I got me some mom jeans." I said, "What?" She goes, "Mom jeans." I said, "Why would you buy those?" She was like, "Because they're popular now." I was like, you got to be. So if mom jeans can come back, origin stories can definitely come back.
Jankos, man. Jankos are coming.
Cool again. I mean,
hey,
I just want to be cool for the first time.
Hey, I'm looking for jams and everything. I gotta find something from my childhood now.
Remember those football pants that had like zebra stripes on them?
Zubaz.
Yeah.
What were the ones that like they were pegged at the bottom and they were like checkers and they were like the MC Hammer pants? What do they call those?
Hammer pants.
They were a better name. Skids.
I remember them, but I can't remember what they're called. But
yeah.
Do you remember Hypercolors?
Absolutely.
Whoo! Find a Hypercolor shirt nowadays. Good luck.
Right here. It's a sexual assault charge.
Yeah. You're right. You're 100% right.
No, oh my God, let me touch her. Like cuffs.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of jams, they actually are still making them. There's a jams website.
Wow.
So anybody who liked jams back in the day,
thank you.
They still make them. I want to replace I had a Jams wallet and I thought I was like the coolest. It had Velcro and everything. I thought I was like the coolest. I'm like, man, I got my Jams on and my Jams wallet.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna get them and I'm gonna wear them to my daughter's soccer games at high school.
Yes.
All right, on to the next one. We've got Crime Patrol, number 15, CGC 5.0, the first Crypt Creeper, sold for $3,600. $3,600.
Yeah, it's not that. That's about right. I'm guessing.
Well,
that might even be a record high, isn't it?
You ready? Tough book. Obviously, PCH Grail. Census total 67 on the census. There's 5 9.8s, 4 9.6s, 2 9.4s that are gains copies. Not a ton in the non-file copy grades. Record sale of July 2019, a 9.8 sold for $12,500. And May 2020, a 9.0 Crippen D copy sold for $10,500. 2.0 in 2019 sold for $1,030. A 3.0 in June 19th sold for $1,950. Wow. 5.0 sold in November 2018 for $3,000. And also in August of 18, $3,600. So surprisingly, this book went super cheap, and the gains copies caused the value of mid-grade copies to behave unusually, is what Z is saying. So interesting. Very interesting. I wouldn't know this book. I wouldn't know this book if I saw it.
It's on my list. EC books aren't super duper rare, but it's a sweet long-term play. If you guys may recall, I once interviewed Dinesh Shamdashani, who works for Hive Mind Productions. They've got that deal with the Gaines family to produce a biopic. And he intimated, although he did not say explicitly, that there may have been a little posturing with AMC and M. Night Shyamalan talking about like, oh, we can't get the right straight. And that there was potentially hope for a revival of Tales from the Crypt. If that happens, lights out. Nobody's going to care about Ice Cream Man anymore. Believe me, this thing will be where everybody's got their eyes on. So, as we approach Halloween, stuff like this, I think is particularly cool.
Shout out to the one and only Sean Leggett. Here's a shout out to him. We've got the DC Comics Presents first appearance of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. DC Comics Presents 47, sorry. First appearance of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. A CGC 9.8 sold for $900. I feel like that's low. Is that low? What's going on?
I feel like that's high because fun fact here, 2 years ago, year and a half ago, I can't remember when, I bought a 9.2 graded 9.2 for $75
Wow.
off of eBay, and I was like, you know what? I'm kind of new to this pressing thing, but I want to see what I can do here. And I pressed it, sent it in, and came back at 9.8. And I sold it. It was a newsstand, and I sold it. I think I sold it. No. It was like 350,
Wow.
400.
Okay.
Like
I think I remember the escalation from 350 to 600. There was somebody was trying to make a run on these books for like half a day, and they bought a ton of them, but they couldn't get them all.
So
let's see if my memory's right.
Census, there's 1,262 on the census total. There's 9.9.
Oh.
There's a 234 9.8s, 297 9.6s. There are newsstand, as Ben said, in May 3rd, a 9.8 sale of a newsstand was for $1,080. This is a record for direct edition, July 27th, $874. One sold for. So this is the high for the direct edition. That's interesting. 2018, the average was 581, and 2019 it was 664. 90 days 771. So, yeah.
See, it would have been better off if I just followed what I normally do and just not sell anything.
Yes,
a lot of hype on this book because they're doing the various projects, right? So there's like the Kevin Smith project. There's like a live action project. I think Kevin Smith and Mark Bernardin are doing an animated series on Netflix as well.
Yeah.
Hey, just know that if I actually sell a book 2 months later, 2 months later, it's going to double in price.
I suffer in the same way, my friend. Yeah.
That's what happened when I sold my 9.8 Ultimate Fallout 4 and my 9.8 Batman Beyond. So,
oof, damn.
Yep.
Before we get into the perspective report, let's do a quick giveaway. So let's bust out the wheel of names here, and we'll give away the YouTube one. Do you remember which one that was, Ben, for the YouTube?
I do not. Which one was it?
That was the one that we asked everybody to post on the YouTube. Post what their favorite Greg Horn cover. Which cover was that we said we were going to give away? Was that the Enchantress one?
Sure.
Okay.
Enchantress.
Okay. I think it was the Enchantress one. Chat, do you guys remember which
I think it was that one.
I think it was the Enchantress one. This is we're terrible. I thought we were professional podcasters here. So chat, give me a heads up. We asked you last week to post on the YouTube page your favorite Horn cover. And I think it was the Enchantress book, but I got everybody's names here and I'm going to throw them up here. 1 second.
Yeah, and thanks again to Greg Horn and One in Comics because these are not coming from us; they're coming from those guys. So whether you win or don't win, go support those guys because there's been a lot of we've given away a lot of those books, and they've all come from them. So this isn't anything that we're doing; we're just kind of being the facilitators for it. So take care of those guys. Go over and check them out. Subscribe to their IG, buy some books from them, whatever.
All right, so this is for the Enchantress book. And here we go. Bada boom, bada bing.
I feel like we should be playing the Price is Right yodeling guy while that's spinning.
Oh,
is that on the line?
It was so close. John Larson. So John Larson, let's go check out what did John Larson post. So let's go take a look. Oh, first, John Larson, you are the winner of the Enchantress book. We'll try to contact you on. He's already here. Boom, John Larson is here. So John Larson, thank you for. Let's see what he said. His favorite Enchantress cover was.
Or Greg Horn, you mean?
Yeah. Sorry, favorite Greg Horn cover was. I'm not a professional YouTuber, man. All right. video.
Let me make sure I get my post-it note out here because I keep forgetting. I'm going to be sending a bunch of these winners out probably tomorrow. So if you haven't got it yet, it's because I'm exhausted and can't keep up. But this is now your book, Mr. John Larson.
So John Larson, let's see what his post was here. If I can do this correctly.
I even like the certificate of authenticity. The cover. It looks good on that too.
Yeah. So John Larson said his favorite cover. Cosmic Ghost Rider destroys Marvel history #1, but gotta agree that Guardians of the Galaxy #1 Gamora is so pretty. The Scream Curse of Carnage ones are pretty sweet too.
Nice.
So there we go. Thanks to John Larson for that. So John Larson, go ahead and hit up.
Where'd my name go?
Your name's right
there.
there.
Oh, there it is.
Hit up Ben
right
over at The Wall Comics on IG and throw him a instant message, or if you don't have IG, let us know in the chat.
If you don't have IG, get on IG.
Yeah, get on IG. All right.
And please, if you do, go over to CBSI Tales from the Flipside and just praise Nico and tell him like he's the greatest. He will love you forever. You'll be like, that's my #1 fan.
Yeah. Just lie to me. Nobody else has to
He doesn't care.
Do that.
And definitely when you get it in the mail, for any of you guys that get any of these books in the mail, do us a favor and take a picture of it and throw a post up on IG and thanks Wanted Comics and Greg Horn for doing these books because they are gorgeous. All right. Any giveaways for old ball guys? I not with me running the show, bro.
I'm the only old guy on the show anymore.
Yeah.
So
before we get into the perspective report, there was a great perspective rundown on Drunken Chat Son last week about these second print Marvel Legacy books that Ultra Maximus did. It was awesome. It was absolutely awesome inspection detective work on his part, and he talked about some really great covers, and we just can't say enough about it. So make sure you guys go check out Drunken Chat Son from last week with Ultra Maximus little detection work about Marvel Legacy second prints. We saw that the catalyst, as he says, is the Spider-Man 234 second print that was on the Hot 10 a couple weeks ago that just shot up, and that kind of made him go, what are some of those other second prints? And I wonder how beautiful they are, how rare they are. Let's see what happens to them. So he put a little thing together with all those, so make sure you guys go check that out. All right, Nico, you ready to do this perspective report #1?
Okay,
let's get into it.
All right, so one of the reasons why I wanted to talk about the Frankie's drama was so we could talk about Comic-Con North American direct market distribution numbers. There's a print run, and here's too much of what's going on, right? People look at the what they believe is a Comic-Con number, and they'll be like, this is a print run of 900, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, and oftentimes it's hard to tell whether or not it's a reorder or what the hell is really going on. And I would encourage you guys to not jump to conclusions about those sorts of things, and instead sort of use those as kind of like a guide mark. So, it's unclear just how rare this particular Dr. Doom book is. It is new art. I don't know if it's from the interior or not. I couldn't find one. This second print dropped in January, and it is stunning. Tough book. I think as we move closer and closer to Fantastic Four being introduced in live action, things like this guy are going to be moving and grooving in price. So if you see him on the shelves at your local comic shop, I'd pick him up. If you're like me trying to find one on the internet, good luck.
Yeah. Yep. That's
literally good luck. I hope you find one. I want one too, but I don't know where. So Yeah. Who knows? And they might be in the damn Walmart packs for all I know. I mean,
well, and that's a very interesting thing. Those Walmart packs are still giving us nice little fruit. They're still bearing fruit.
And for the record, if you're interested in what that Comic Cron number is, it was like, I don't know, 1,200 or 1,300. It's on the outline if you've got it. Do you see it?
Here we go, J-Mac. Yeah, inflate that eagle more, please. Just give it to me. Just give it to me. Yeah. All right. So, sorry, what was that, Nico?
Do you have the outline in front of you?
I do.
What's the Comic Cron number that may be reorders or maybe this book? I think it's this book, but what the hell do I know?
Let me see if I can find it in here.
Is this a different cover than?
So, yeah.
And who's the artist on this?
No clue.
Comic Cron numbers for January 2020 is 1,278, an insanely low number for a book with a lot of upside, but it's unclear whether this reorder the first print or the second print, like you said, Nico. So 1,278 is the Comic Con number for January 2020.
Next.
Yep. This is kind of goes along with those reprints and stuff like that, right? These are just
Salvador LaRocca.
Salvador LaRocca for this one.
Oh, okay. Nice. Yeah. And okay, so these books are not reprints. These are the story thus far variants. They were qualifier variants, right? Everybody's familiar with the qualifier variants, the unlock variants. I don't know what the specific scheme was. The issues are cool because 12 is the Kiss issue, right? 16 is the Rose issue, and these were the qualifier variants. You can't find them on eBay. Like you can find the Black Spider-Man 12 ratio variant, the Rose Spider-Gwen 16 ratio variant, but these two are ghosts. I keep an eye out for them. I assume they're in long boxes. I don't know that there have been a lot of huge sales for either of these books. I don't think there have been. If there were, they were just recently, and I wouldn't call them huge. They'd be in like the $25, $50 range. So before these things go bonkers, I'd try to snag them from LCSs who aren't going to be necessarily hip to these books. Unless they're really deep into their inventory and the market for Miles and Gwen stuff. I think these are just smart buys if you don't have to overpay or pay market, Yeah. But I don't pay market for anything, so don't listen to me if you like the books, just buy them. Yeah. Next.
This is a shout out. I think I heard Mel talking about this one or somebody talking about this.
Right. Yeah. So I talk to people about comics, right? I talked to Mel about this book, and then he was talking about it on Drunken Chat. I was calling him, asking him, picking his brain about books. This is the Priscilla Fisk first appearance, second print. I did not look at the Comic Cron numbers, but I think there's maybe a $20 copy on eBay. I thought about buying it, but meh. Well, I mean, somebody else should get it. I've got one, right?
Hey, you want to see something funny? Can I share my screen really fast?
Yeah.
Share screen. What?
Oh man! All right.
Look at that date. Look at that date. August 8th.
Oh, that's tremendous. Great minds, man. Great minds. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just a smart book.
It is. And I know a lot of people were pissed about the whole Priscilla Fisk stuff, but it's not about Priscilla Fisk. This is about the Moon Girl, right? And the rare covers, I imagine.
Yeah, and who knows, dude? I mean, are they going to put her in the animated series? Hell, I don't know. It's just all very interesting to see how this one shakes out.
Well, I will say shout out to
2,500. Thanks, Ultra.
Shout out to the mighty Mel V, who has always been talking about Moon Girl. This has been his book for a long time, and he really loves
it. I saw Lucas with that one variant, and I was like, holy shit, I'm super jealous, right? Like, I got to call him. Maybe I can try to broker a deal, blah, blah, blah. And then he's talking about giving it away in one of their, like,
Drunken Chat boxes.
I'm
you
just
guys,
like, all right, I'm in. I'll play whatever the hell you guys are doing.
Hey, that number one second print is
Tough.
they're not out there. Like one just sold, and that's the first one that's been on in like 2 months, and there's now none again. It's sold. It's already sold, and that's her first appearance. So that number one, if you can find it, that's a good one.
Yep.
Disclaimer: I do have it.
Nice.
But
yeah,
it is hard. But I've had it for like
how does Mel hate dinosaurs and like Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur?
He has a lot of irrational beliefs.
Mel doesn't think dinosaurs are real. They're like they're not. Yeah.
He's like a flat earther or something. All right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, he doesn't like magic either. Somebody like picked on him when he was a child. I feel like when COVID's over, I'm going to try to pay some money to get one of those street magicians to show up at his house. But anyway, next.
Is there a magical dinosaur? Ooh, Puff.
All right. So this is
that's a dragon.
Yeah, I think we've seen how deep down rabbit holes people will go. Ultra, good son of a bitch. I was looking for all those books. I was. But really impressed with what you did there. I didn't get all of them. Only got a couple of them. Still fucking bitter. But anyway, the same sort of logic holds true for these covers at a DC, right? Like you could elect to get the non-lenticular, auto 1099 whatever covers and go with the floppy. The floppy of this one, it's Batman and Robin 23.2, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what it says?
Yes.
Is a super cool book, I think, with everybody really pumped up about the potential for the Court of Owls in live action and their emergence on the forthcoming PlayStation 4 or 5 video game. So super cool cover. I think
awesome cover, amazing cover.
I think I couldn't figure out like what the Comic-Con numbers were, so I just sort of gave up. But it's whatever. I like it.
Yeah, I like this one a lot.
I love the thought of the Court of Owls. It's so like shrouded in secrecy about the whole thing. I mean, it's like an underground mafia that just, I don't know. It's a really cool concept.
Absolutely couldn't agree more, Stein.
All right, on to the next one.
All right. So this is super cool. Those are the three characters, obviously, that are going to be in the forthcoming film. What's interesting is the people are in mass sort of assuming that the owl on the Halloween card is the Court of Owls, not remembering that the Penguin used these killer owls. That's where this story comes from. Plus, it's got the first time Neil Gaiman writes Batman and that beautiful Brian Boland cover. I think this is a no-brainer and absolutely, a classic cover. And I know that phrase gets thrown around. If you're like me and you love Batman, you probably had this book. So Secret Origins Special #1.
Yep. I like this cover. I love Brian Boland covers, always have. Not all of them are some of the newer Joker ones I wasn't a fan of, but I just don't like that series. But man, these ones back in the day and these books are just great. Pick them up every time. All right, that is the perspective report for tonight. I do want to give a quick shout out and also let you guys know, Comic Barricade, if you guys are tired of your books falling in your boxes and you got to put like foam in there or like Wizard magazines or like a shoe box or something to, go check out Comic Barricade. They're ingenious. They work amazing. So many people in the last month have contacted me, either Facebook or IG or in person saying, hey, I finally got those Comic Barricades. They're kicking ass. They are amazing. They have card barricades that are coming out, or I think might already be out, which is awesome for monster boxes for you guys that are doing Pokemon, Magic, sports cards, whatever. You all know how much a pain in the ass it is to have your cards, fall over in there, just like comics. So make sure you guys go over to comicbarricade.com and use the code CBSI Tales to get not only free shipping, but 10% off. Insert support stabilize Comic Barricade. And also much love to a couple other people real quick. Parallel Universe over in Turkey doing cool stuff. Make sure you guys keep an eye on them. They're always just doing really cool covers over there. And they're good peeps. 4-Color Creations. You can use the code Flipside over there and get some stuff. They are awesome. They hooked us up with a bunch of goodies, as you guys can see.
I think he just did a turtle. The turtle's #1.
Ooh.
I thought I saw that. I could be wrong, but I thought that's what I saw.
Yeah. Shout out 4-Color Creations, man. Shout out to Rick. He's doing just really, really good things over there. So make sure you guys check them out. You guys got any pickups? I don't have any pickups. I haven't gotten anything.
You're gonna laugh at me.
I got some cool stuff.
Okay.
You can do your cool stuff because mine sucks. But so this is my pickups, and if you're in the sports card or even non-sports card industry, you know how valuable these things are right now. I got some top loaders and some semi-rigid
one touches.
The card savers. Okay, so these card savers, you can usually buy them off PSA's website for $5. I had to pay $20 on eBay to get these, just so I could send cards to PSA for them to hold them for the next 8 months. That's how stupid it is. It's ridiculous.
Ah, man. And you know what's going to piss me off even more about that, Ben, is I just went through my last package of card savers.
You can't find them. I called all the stores around here. They're like, oh no, I can't get those. But yeah, you can flip top loaders right now because you can't get them. It's stupid.
It is. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and I don't think I was clear. The Court of Owls cover is a second print.
Yes, it's the non-lenticular, just like the Marvel Legacy stuff, right? That Maximus showed the other night. This is DC's version. When they were doing the lenticular covers, they did the non-lenticulars too for the second prints.
Yeah.
So, all right, Nico, you're up, brother.
All right. So, thank you, Dollar Ben. What a kind soul. Sent me this amazing 1 in 50 Gore, the God variant. You know how sometimes there's books that just have like gravity, like you see them in pictures and you're like, that's kind of cool. This thing in person is unreal because of the blue and green and silver. I can't describe it.
I own 0 of those Thor books. I have none of them. I can never find them. The
problem is this thing is so nice. Now I'm going to have to go back and spend serious money trying to buy those books. So yeah, it was a big one.
Shout out to Dollar Bin. Make sure you guys are following Dollar Bin on IG. He's doing some stuff.
We got a video of his coming down soon. Right?
I think we do. We got some new stuff coming from Mr. Longshort on Modern Playbook. You can also find Dollar Bin on IG. I think it's $dollar bin _bin_. So make sure you guys check him out.
All right. Do you remember when this was like $150 or something? And I was like,
yep.
Are you kidding me? And I was like just outraged by it. I promptly went and bought 3 for like cover price. Look, I try to not be the guy who doesn't tell the truth, but I don't know where that book's going. And the reason it kind of interests me is what Mel said, what Ultra said, and what others have said, which is like a lot of these big retailers apparently didn't get them. I don't think that price tag makes sense. Like a $20, $40 price tag. Okay, cool. But I'm kind of what's what I'm looking for? Mortified at the profound escalation in price for a lot of these modern books, and I hope that that kind of stuff doesn't continue, because I think it's potentially dangerous for the whole market, but we'll see. This one was cool. I finally got my hands on a copy of it. It's that Lifebringer Galactus variant with our girl, America Chavez, on the cover. I think I paid $6 for it. I don't know what it's selling for, but a lot more than that. I went and grabbed 2 of these. I was super happy with. That is the 3rd print. It's a pain in the butt. There are none on eBay. Those will not be getting sold. They're not 9/8, but they're just awesome. Maybe we'll give one away if I don't give it to a friend or something. Grab this one. This was a gift from another friend, my buddy J Mac, who's constantly breaking my balls in the live chat. Was kind enough to pick this one up for me. This is a book that he and Dollar Bin talked about. It's the Goonies homage ratio. I thought it was super cool. Speaking of cool ratios, these ones are selling for big money, and I got them both, I think, for $3 a piece. Pretty exciting.
Nico, save that survive for me. Don't sell that. Save that for me. Just in case you find another one, save another one too.
Okay.
Because look at that book. Look at that. Hold that book up.
Okay.
You know, people don't realize this, but that's the homage to the Marvel 25th anniversary covers. Very cool.
Okay. And then this one, my buddy TJ Timebomb kindly let me buy for absolutely nothing. How freaking amazing is
Oh,
this?
that is awesome.
Bruce Tim Batgirl. Holy crap. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
I've said it before. I'll say it a million times. Comic books are awesome, but they are incidental to the friends that I've made within the comic book community. Please, go out, be good to people, reach out, talk to people about books, celebrate them together. I think that is the lesson of our fallen hero, Chadwick Boseman. Be good to the people that you care about while they're here on Earth. I'm done.
Awesome, dude. That was a killer pickups, man.
Yeah, right?
Tim is all. How rare is that Tim?
I've never seen it before. It could be print on demand for all I know. That stuff.
Well, they're not all Tims, but I've got the Superman Adventures 9/8, the Supergirl one. Then I've got the Batman and Robin one, or the Batgirl Adventures in a 9/8, and then I've got the Batman and the one with the Riddler. That's the Templeton. That would look good right next to all 3 of those.
Yeah. So this is a 2006.
Back Issues magazine's a great magazine.
Ooh, Lordy. Back Issue presents. Yeah. Love comic books.
Yep. All right. Thank you guys for everybody for joining us today. So we still got one giveaway to give away, and I appreciate everybody that did the Instagram stuff with us. So, Ben, do you want to talk about where you've been tonight before we give this one away?
Sure.
Oh.
Yeah. Let's see here. Where have I been tonight? Let's see here. We started with Vacation. This is crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy.
Nice.
Yeah. This was My Cousin Vinny. This is where I got your $200, and he got popped right in the face. This is A Christmas Story. Fun fact: Christmas Story is based in Hammond, Indiana, but it was filmed. This is in Cleveland. I've been to this house. You can visit it. So I've been there. And last but not least, it looks like Rob's Nerd Haven got this at the last second. This is Doc Brown's house from Back to the Future.
Nice.
That's dope. That's dope. All right. So this is for the IG. What was this for? This was for the Thor Virgin variant. Thor number 6, Virgin variant. I think you got it over there, Ben, right?
I hope. Let's see here. I do. I'm glad I had these still sitting on. I hadn't put these away.
Yeah, beautiful cover. That is one of the most gorgeous covers I've ever seen. Absolutely gorgeous.
And that looks so cool with him smashing Galactus's
helmet. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Absolutely gorgeous. All right, so let's do this. Click to spin.
no whammies, no whammies, no whammies, no whammies. How did they get on this list?
There you go. CK3 Comics DK will go over to Instagram and we'll look him up real quick. What was the winner? It was here we go.
CK3 Comics DK.
So there we go. Let's go take a look at him over there. There we go. And sure enough, there it is, right there on the top.
Stud.
Hey,
Thank you.
Go follow him.
Yeah, make sure you guys go follow him as we do right there. Give him a nice little follow. We appreciate it. CK3 Comics DK. Much love. Collector of U.S. foreign comics living in Denmark.
Oh, man, I got to ship to Denmark.
Hey, I feel like that's one Jon Z should fund. First off, it was a no-show.
Hey, I agree.
At work. And second, we blame him for all of the global comics of mystery.
Oh man!
Hey, he's probably got. He probably knows that he probably trades with this guy from Denmark or something like that.
Actually, he'll probably be like, "Well, of course I'm sending it to him. I need another contact."
Well,
Right.
how can you,
Dude, that's a relationship game, man.
how can you not love his? He says, "Love the hunt and the fellowship in the community." Amen.
Strong.
Amen. Very strong. So,
Did they? I'm assuming they speak English in Denmark.
yeah, of course. He will hit up. Make sure you hit up at the Wall Comics, and we'll get that taken care of for you. Thank you so much for everybody that took place in that. We really appreciate you. Make sure you guys thank Greg Horn and Drew over at Wanted Comics. We really appreciate that when you guys get those comics in, that you take a picture of that and give them a shout out for those beautiful, beautiful covers. Also, make sure you guys go check out comicbookinvest.com for all your comic and speculation news and needs. Amazing articles over there. Make sure you guys check out some of the other shows on the Flipside. Channel 3 Comic Money has been great lately. The Star Wars show, Tales from the Dark Side, has been awesome lately. We've got a lot of fun stuff coming up, so make sure you guys all check it out.
Hey, we forgot to do a correction. Remember where I was like, if you show the back of your book, you'll get $500 more or $200 more on your auction. Making a joke about the book, right?
Outlaw #1, yeah.
Yeah. So we learned, in fact, that showing the back of your book will not, in fact, get you. The exact opposite. So sorry, Ultra. Perhaps you should be less forthcoming in the future.
Shout out to Ultra. We love you, brother.
Yeah, that's everybody.
I'm glad we didn't throw him under the bus twice. All right. Thank you, guys. We appreciate it. Make sure you guys check us out on the Hot 10 coming up this Friday, and subscribe, like, all that fun stuff. We will see you next time. Peace out.
See you.